All right, besties, we're back with a new course. This one's going to be called Birth Chart Basics. We're going to be doing more things that are going to be more relevant to you as an individual, whereas the last class I did, I focused on very broad stuff. And we're going to go over things like the big three, the big six, the ascendant, descendant, midheaven, I don't even know how to say this word, asteroids, and more. And the agenda is just to give you a better ability to read your own birth chart and get to know yourself astrologically. We're actually going to cover 1 through 6 today, but it's going to be very broad, and then we're going to go through and go over the ascendant, descendant, and everything much more in detail later. But the first thing we're going to talk about is your big three. People ask you, what's your big three? Now we're going to figure out how to do that. So, for an example, I'm a Capricorn sun, Scorpio moon, and Sagittarius rising. The sun sign is the one that almost everyone already knows about and considers their sign. It is your core and your ego. And the second is the moon sign. It's how you experience your emotions and who you are to yourself. Your rising sign is also known as your ascendant. It's how you are experienced by others. And these three placements are the most influential in your chart and describe much of your personality. So, in addition to the big three, there's three more that are pretty important. They're all important, but you know what I mean. And that is your big six. So it includes the sun, moon, and rising, and then three more personal planets. And it's Mercury. It's how you think, organize, learn, and communicate. Your Mars is how you show your passionate side. Your Venus is how you express and receive love. The five personal planets and the rising sign comprise your big six. So, something that's important about the birth chart are the angles, and this is what they look like. The ascendant is in the first house, the descendant is in the seventh house. The MC, the midheaven, it can be in your 10th house most of the time, but for some people, depending on which house system you use, it's either going to be in the 11th or ninth house. And then the IC is usually in the fourth house, but like I said, depending on what house system you use, it could either be in the third or the fifth house. Like, for example, my midheaven is in the 11th, so that makes my IC in the fifth. But here are the angles. It's the highest and lowest parts of your chart plus the sunrise and the sunset. So the ascendant is where the sun rose on the east side of your chart when you were born. And like I said, this is also known as your rising sign. And this is like the majority of where you get your personality. The descendant is where the sun sets on the west side of your chart when you were born, and this is the ruler of the seventh house. So, whereas the ascendant is all about you, the descendant is all about how you interact with others and what you need in your close personal relationships. The midheaven is the highest, most visible part of the chart. It actually deals with your career, your legacy, and how you are viewed by acquaintances. So, me, for example, mine is in Libra. So when I'm at work, I come across very Libra. And then the IC is the lowest and most private part of your chart. And that's pretty cool. But that is all. So we'll see you next time for part 2, and we'll go into more in depth about these things. Bye.